What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 216, and we start today's episode off with a game against Manchester United here in the Premier League, of course. In the last episode, you would have seen the game in the Capital One Cup final against Liverpool. Of course, we did win it by 3 goals to 1. A very interesting Capital One Cup final that was. But yeah, taking on Manchester United for this game, I'll have a little bit of an interesting talk about this game in just a moment's time. But still, taking on Manchester United, and as you can see, the team lineup was pretty much I don't know, would you call it a weaker side? It wasn't as strong as it could have been, let's be honest. There were a couple of changes, a couple of absentees here and there. Odi Barjo getting a start up front in this game, but Manchester United are having a pretty poor season. They're firmly in mid-table as we are coming into the latter stages, and to be honest, coming into this game at the Emirates, we may have lost to United away at Old Trafford, but I really was fancying my chances. The first chance did fall to us, but that header hit the bar and went behind for a goal kick, and in the 24th minute here, Ryo Miyaichi turns Raphael, gets himself inside, keeps on going and shoots. It's blocked, but it falls to Danny Welbeck, and the former United striker is denied by David De Gea. So still Arsenal 0, United 0. A couple minutes later, though, another great chance. Lazzarini turns Daley Blind and crosses the ball in towards the centre. It misses Danny Welbeck, but it falls to Ryo Miyaichi, and the Japanese winger is denied by De Gea. So still goalless in this game, and De Gea having a very, very good first half as things stood. In the 38th minute, Manchester United had a good chance here as Adnan Januzaj finds Nick Powell. We failed to get the ball away. Hernandez plays Powell inside, and Powell really should have found the back of the net, or at least hit the target. Somehow he blazed his shot way off target and into the stands, and it was still goalless. So a bit of a let off for us there. And from that goal kick, we pass out from the back as per usual. Mesut Ozil picks out Ryo Miyaichi down the right hand side, who kept on tearing up the fullbacks, keeps on going, gets himself inside the penalty area. Great chance here. Went for goal myself, but again, David De Gea makes a very good save. So still goalless, and De Gea in this game really was playing a fantastic 45 minutes as things stood. And as you can see, Debussy plays this ball forward towards Odi Barjo. He takes a touch and strikes it, and it goes just wide and behind for a goal kick. So still goalless, and a minute before the half-time break, we were still desperate to get ourselves the opening goal of the game. Lazzarini starting at left back in this game, fake shots around Adnan Januzaj and plays a 1-2 with Odi Barjo. He keeps on going, he crosses the ball into the centre, picks out Danny Welbeck, and Welbeck's header is expertly saved by De Gea as he tips the ball onto the bar, and United get the ball away. So still a goalless in this game, and from that we almost ran the ball out of play, but eventually it's cleared away for a throw in to us. Santi Cazorla takes it quickly and finds Lazzarini. Lazzarini crosses the ball in, again Welbeck's the target, and again he wins the header, but this time it's off target and it goes behind for a goal kick. So still goalless going into the break, and to be honest, in the second half with the score still at 0-0, De Silva Flore comes off the bench, has his header blocked and diverted over the bar. So still goalless in this game. In the 53rd minute, again United come forward here for one of their rare attacks. They cross the ball towards Nick Powell, he flicks it down towards Ander Herrera. Herrera takes a quick first touch, keeps holding the ball, shoots himself, but Chris Ince makes the save and we get it away. So still goalless in this game with 3 minutes to go. It looks as though the game was going to finish that way. Ryo Miyaichi finds Jordan Proctor here. Proctor plays it back to our Japanese winger down his right hand side, fake shots around Ander Herrera, gets himself inside and eventually shoots, but it goes just wide of that far post and behind for a goal kick. And it was how the game would finish, a 0-0 draw. So many opportunities, most of them coming to us, but De Gea played very well. My finishing could have used a little bit of work, and in the end a goalless draw. Pretty frustrated about it. Should have got the win in my opinion, but sadly we'll have to settle for a draw and just a 1 point instead of 3. Now the game actually was played before the Capital One Cup final. That's what I wanted to say right there. The game was played before the Capital One Cup final. You just saw that match reschedule, the email there. Basically just a really boring anecdote, I guess, but after I made episode number 214, after the game against Spurs, I saved the game, I quit the game, made the video, commented, deleted all the files, and I came back into the game. Came back into the game for the next episode, which is going to be episode number 215, which was going to be the Capital One Cup final. And then I realised I still had a game to play because this game against United wasn't scheduled beforehand. So does that make sense? Basically, the game basically just spontaneously appeared out of nowhere, was rescheduled, and that's why this game, that Manchester United game, was actually played before the Capital One Cup final. The reason you didn't see it before the Capital One Cup final, though, is because I didn't want to have one episode with just one game, because it would have been like 4 minutes long and it wouldn't have been worth your time basically. So I thought at the end of the day what I'll do is I'll keep that game and I'll wait until I got more footage to add it to the next episode after the Capital One Cup final. So just to clarify, basically that game against United was before the Capital One Cup final, but it was shown after it, so hopefully that explains that, just in case you were confused about the dates of the games. And there you go. Still, as you can see, we had a squad report as we've now entered March, and you can also see the league table as well. 11 games to go. We are 8 points clear of of Manchester City, and look at that whopping goal difference, plus 45. We've only conceded 18 goals this season and scored a whopping 63. That's really good, isn't it? That's a fantastic goal difference record. And as you can see, we've got some more money for our progress in the FA Cup. We've now been drawn in the quarterfinals against Swansea City, the Welsh side. Liverpool take on Middlesbrough, Southampton take on West Brom, and United take on Everton in the other three ties. So there you go. Of course, winning the Capital One Cup in the last episode, we were very, very pleased about that. And, that was, of course, the last game coming into this one against Burnley. This is the game directly after that. Obviously, we're really pleased to get our first trophy as Arsenal manager. As I said, this year we had to win some silverware of some sort. So winning the Capital One Cup was really, really good for us. But we still want to win another trophy as well. I'm targeting at least 2 this season. So we've won 1 in the Capital One Cup. I'd now like another one. Obviously, the EFA Cup, the Premier League, and the Champions League. We're in all 3 of those competitions. I'd like to win at least 1 of those trophies, preferably 2 or 3, but we'll have to wait and see. So we take on Burnley for the second and final game of today's episode here. So this one was being played directly after the Capital One Cup final. And coming to this game at Turf Moor, I did decide to rest a lot of players. The reason being was because a couple of the players were tired after that win at Wembley, and we also had a game on Tuesday night against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu in the Champions League. And with Burnley sitting in 18th place, with us top of the table, I was really fancying my chances despite the weaker side coming into this game. But the first chance did fall to Burnley. However, we had a great opportunity here in the 36th minute as Aaron Ramsey goes through, but the shot is saved by Ondoa and cleared away by Burnley. So still goalless in this game. And in the 41st minute, we had a free kick from range. We let Mbaye take it as per usual. He's an absolute mile out, Mbaye. I think it was, almost 40 yards, 39 yards out. He levers it, and what a goal that would have been. It goes just wide the post though and behind for a goal kick. So still Burnley 0, Arsenal 0. But in the 44th minute here, Burnley come forward with Graham Dorrans finding Howison. He picks out Sam Vokes, and Vokes finds Ashley Barnes here. Barnes plays it out wide towards Arfield. Arfield takes it around Ryo Miyaichi, gets himself outside the area but picks out Sam Vokes. Vokes turns and shoots, saves it, but Ashley Barnes turns in the rebound, and Burnley take a shock lead right before half time. And to be honest, they did have the first chance of the game, then a couple fell to us, so it wasn't like we were dominating or anything. But considering the league positions, Burnley in 18th place, the relegation places, with us top of the table by 8 points, coming into the game, despite the many changes we made to the lineup, I was still fancying our chances of running out like 2, 3, 4 goal winners. But instead, Burnley got themselves the first goal of the game, and it was 1-0. From kickoff, I gave the ball away, and as Ashley Barnes picks the ball up here, he goes down the left-hand side and finds Arfield. Arfield takes it around Miyaichi, keeps on going, ends up whipping in across. Kagan Holland loses out in the air to Sam Vokes. And out of nothing, with a blink of an eye, Burnley go from being on level terms, about to go into the break, a very respectable 0-0 draw, as things stand, to actually being leading the game by 2 goals to 0. Sam Vokes gets the goal. And out of nothing, I mean seriously, out of just nothing, Burnley have 2 goals right before half-time. And I was just livid because seriously, I gave the ball away. They just got themselves up the pitch. And as the cross comes in there, it's loops up in the air. 2 players go for the header. Kagan Holland, and I think it might have been Luke Garbutt as well. Neither of them win it. Vokes wins it in the air. He's about to get sandwiched, yet he still wins the header. It's perfect accuracy. It goes right past Christians into the bottom corner. No chance for our goalkeeper. And it's Burnley 2, Arsenal 0. And this game was just incredible because I felt for sure we were going to run out winners in this game. But instead, we're now 2 goals down going into the second half. A few minutes after the second half restarted, Danny Welbeck went through on a 1-on-1, but had his shot well saved by the goalkeeper on Doa, and it was still 2-0 to Burnley. And in the 54th minute here, you see Danny Welbeck get on the ball as we pass the ball around pretty nicely. He spreads it down the right-hand side towards Ryo Miyaichi, who takes it around his man, drills in across, and Danny Welbeck does get us the goal back right in front of the travelling fans there and makes it Burnley 2, Arsenal 1. So back in this game, we really did need that goal, and Danny Welbeck with a brilliant finish there as Miyaichi crossed the ball in. Ondoa does get a touch on it, but as you can see, he can only divert the ball into the top corner, and we are back in this game. So, to be 2-0 down to a side currently threatening the relegation zone, whether we're away from home or not, is not good enough. So still 2-1, we're back in the game now. But in the 65th minute, again, Burnley come forward with some nice passing. Ben Mee crosses the ball in. Ashley Barnes flicks it backwards. Howison finds O'Neill down this right-hand side. He picks out Russell. Russell takes it around his man. The cross comes in, and Ashley Barnes gets his second goal of the game and makes it Burnley 3, Arsenal 1, and their 2-goal cushion is restored. And this was a relegation threat right-hand side, sitting in 18th place. Sean Dyche, the manager, he didn't sit there and, once they got their 2-goal lead, sit there and, just play defensive. He wanted more goals in this game. He sensed that we had a really weak defence out there and couldn't cope with the physical presence of Barnes and Vokes, and we couldn't. We just couldn't deal with it in the air. And that header comes in by Ashley Barnes. Chris Ince possibly could have got to it, but it was past him in a flash, really, so I can't really blame my goalkeeper. But even so, it's Burnley 3, Arsenal 1, and put it this way, we were going to be ruining a lot of accumulators on this day, because this came out of nowhere. As you can see, Vargas here in the 72nd minute did get us back into the game. A couple of nice skill moves, turns the last man and puts the ball past Ndell to make it 3-2. So with 17.5 minutes to go, a possible chance for us to come back from 2 goals down to level and make it 3-3. But as you will see, we did end up losing the game by 3 goals to 2. This game came absolutely just out of nowhere. No one would have predicted it, but we do lose to Burnley by 3 goals to 2. I have no idea why they weren't celebrating either, but even so, that was the final score. 2 games without a win, and we may have won a Capital One Cup final, but if we want to win the league as well, we've got to do much better than this. But that is going to be the episode, guys, so as always, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do leave likes. It is much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. Of course, you don't have to leave a like if you don't want to, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.